Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have the Dewar's here on my cask. The Dewar's 18 years old. Well, the Dewar's white label is widely spread over the US, and I think it's the best-selling blended whiskey in the United States. And, well, in the United States they have the lead and not Johnny Walker. And worldwide, the Johnny Walker is the best-selling Scotch. This is Dewar's 18 years old, and it comes with a wonderful package. Going up here, see a stand in it, and here inside there's history written, the home branches, and the royal appointment. Established 1846. Quite some time on the market, and it's called the True Scotch, the vintage blended Scotch whiskey married in oak casks, and that is the specialty. Blended whiskies are mixed up by malt whiskies and grain whiskies from different distilleries, all with an age of at least 18 years, also the grain whiskies. And then you put them together in a vat, mix them up, and then you put it in the bottle. And, well, that's the cheap stuff. If you're going to higher quality blends, you have to take care of the whiskey during this mixing process, and then it's called the marrying. If the marrying vat is larger than 700 liters, then the period in which the whiskey rests for marriage in the cask, it does not count to the maturation period, because the maximum legal size of the cask is 700 liters, and the Dewar's is mixing the whiskey and then putting it into oak cask for a marriage period, and therefore this time counts to the age of the whiskey. Gold and price 500 medals by appointment to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, Scotch Whisky Distillers John Dewar and Sons Limited, Perth, Scotland. Yeah. John Dewar founded his business in 1846 and was an early pioneer of the art of blending single malt and single grain whiskies together to make a Scotch that was fine, smooth, and never varied. So this is not a selection process from casks, but an artisan work with the creation of a never-changing taste. When his son John Alexander took over running the business, he appointed A.J. Cameron as master blender. It was Cameron who pioneered the technique of allowing the single malts and single grains to marry together in vintage oak casks for several months after blending, so several months. This process makes our Scotch incredibly smooth, with many layers of flavor in perfect harmony. Each of the whiskies we use for the vintage blend must have reached the age of 18 to be eligible for inclusion. By that time, the angels will have helped themselves to most of it, but the flavor of what is left for us will be powerfully concentrated. Yeah, with an age of 18 years, a lot of casks will have reached 50% level. Yeah, so it's evaporating is quite a lot. We are proud to have been suppliers to the royal household, not the royal family, the royal household. So you're drinking at the kitchen table, for over 100 years, and in that time we've become the most awarded blended Scotch in the world. Yes. Here we go for the bottle. It's brown glass. And here they state from which malt whiskey distilleries the whiskey comes from. Highland single malt Scotch whiskey is Aberfeldy. This is called Home of the Dewar's. And I think I told at the Aberfeldy videos about this Home of the Dewar's. Macduff, which is across the golf court in Banffshire, in the very northeast. Royal Brackla and Speyside single malt Scotch whiskies, Craiglachie, so there might be a little bit of smokiness in it, and Altmore. and blended from our rare Highland, Speyside and Lowland single malts. Lowland? Which distillery is in the Lowlands from the Dewars? No idea. And grain whiskies, each of which is at last 18 years old. Once combined, they are allowed to marry together in oak casks for several months. 40% ABV. The true heart of the blend is Aberfeldy, a honeyed, fruity single malt from the Central Highlands made with water from the Pitilly Burn. Yeah. So in the back there are engravements of 3 gold medals in London 1888, in Paris 1889, and in Edinburgh 1986. So they're going for the history of the gold medals, but I would go for the youngest gold medals because it would show that the quality is still best. The cork is together with a metal stopper on top, but it's cold, it's metal, but aluminum, no idea what it is, too light, or it has a plastic with a metal cladding, no idea. And this bottle looks like the very old whiskey bottles with the outward bound lip. So it's a great bottle. Here we go. Vanilla. Toffee, caramel, and on top some floral notes, and the honey of Aberfeldy, not yet, no. It's a smooth, light, creamy aroma, but this floral note has some aromatic edge. I don't think that it's peat from Kegelachi, but smells like marzipan. Those rose leaves, the oil from rose leaves. Rose blossom leaves. Yeah, and some grain oiliness showing up. In the start, I'm missing some ABV, so it's just 40%, and 43 would be better. And then the typical bitterness of the grain whiskies appear, and that comes because the grain whiskey is matured in refill casks, and in the end, those refill casks just deliver tannins from the oak core. And these tannins deliver bitterness, and this brings the aftertaste is definitely coffee, dark chocolate. So if you're going for the milk chocolate, this is nothing for you, but if you say, no milk chocolate, please, the dark one, then this one's the right one for you. And there's some nuttiness, some probably almonds, and this distinct bitterness. Yeah. So it's 50 euros, close to 50 euros, dollars, pounds, and I think it's worth the money. But if you compare it to the Dewar's signature I had several years ago, no, it does not reach it by far. It's definitely a lot better than the Dewar's white label. So if you have a friend, a relative who is kind of the Dewar's white label, then you should give this one to him as a gift for Christmas or for an anniversary or for his birthday, her birthday, and tell them not to drink it on ice, not to drink it, or just to drink it neat, and then he will smell the real taste of of Dewar's. And if he turns 50 or 60, then you give him a Dewar signature. Yeah, thank you for watching. Stay tuned as always, and feel free to share this video with your friends.